10. Strange weather. The past few days have seen very active and dangerous weather. Most of this weather has been along the Gulf Coast, but a good deal has also hit the Northeast as well. This video is an attempt to demonstrate how and why this erratic weather has been taking place. Contrary to your local weather channel's lackluster explanations and tailored graphics, I will be providing all of the links to the source information which I will be using. Before I begin, I should first acknowledge the YouTube account holder of the channel known as Weather War 101. If not for the insights garnered from the extensive amount of research being carried on by the team or individual over at Weather War 101, I would have, in all likelihood, never put these pieces together, or looked in the right places. I should also bring to your attention that I do not pretend to be an authority of weather systems, or the technology being used to create and manipulate this erratic weather. I am merely an amateur researcher, using open source tools and information to come to my conclusions. The first images provided are of the continental United States, including most of Canada and parts of Mexico and the Caribbean. What you are seeing is a loop of the College of DuPage's Next Gen Weather Labs water vapor satellite footage for the days April 25 through April 26. The time counter is standard military time. In the first set, you'll see plumes of water vapor coming from seemingly nowhere. These are along the coast in southern Texas. You will also notice similar plumes erupting at the toe end of Louisiana. Ask yourself how these plumes could form naturally. What could possibly produce such a large amount of water vapor in such a short time in the same areas on a consistent basis? If this weather is being caused by the introduction of this water vapor into the atmosphere, then where is it coming from, and what is producing it? There are only a few things I know of that could produce this amount of water vapor in the time frames listed in the footage provided, and none of them are natural. Those aforementioned things are power plants or power utilities which use steam-driven turbines to generate power. This would include the vast majority of power plants in the United States. So I took the liberty of searching for a map which detailed the approximate locations of some of the most significant power plants in Texas, as the majority of water vapor was coming from there. What you will see in the overlay is telling. As it is now, the map is not perfect. As I have said, it is an approximation. I intend to build more conclusive maps in the coming months, and it will include the states which are also producing large vapor plumes. But even with this rough approximation, you can clearly see that most of the largest plumes line up almost directly with known power plants. In the next set of images, you will see a close-up of the Southeast United States water vapor satellite. And here as well, I have taken the liberty of scrounging up a map of the locations of most of the active platforms in the Gulf of Mexico. There are thousands of them, and in that thousands, some are obviously producing large amounts of water vapor. You may also notice that off the east coast there seems to be something producing water vapor as well. But as drilling is banned everywhere but the Gulf of Mexico, I can only speculate as to what that is. I'm still gathering the needed resources to determine what, if anything, could be causing these plumes other than power plants, or water vapor generators like those used at NASA. The map of Texas used in the overlays does not list all of the power plants in Texas. This is a work in progress. The following group of images brings us back to the continental view of the United States for the dates April 25th through April 26th. And here I want to bring your attention to the Colorado area. You'll notice that a band of water vapor forms starting in South Dakota, moving down to Nebraska, and then exploding in Colorado. I suspect that there will be a band of power plants on those locations when I investigate them. Again, going back to Texas, this time in a close-up, We can see that even with my map being as imperfect as it is, the plumes and some of the available power plants line up almost exactly. When the image is inverted, the plumes become very distinct, and you can clearly see them. The following footage is of the steam release process. This is what it looks like from the ground when one of these power plants vents. Massive amounts of steam are released into the local atmosphere, cooling as it rises. This is where the freezing rains and hailstorms are coming from. This next map is a somewhat more comprehensive list of the power plants, refineries, and associated vectors of power generation in the United States. Pink blips are power plants, and most in Texas are buried by drilling blips. When I zoom in, however, you can see that there are quite a few listed. I do not stand by this map or the previous one as being completely accurate. This was all put together in the span of a few days, and I snatched these maps off of Google as easily as I could find them. I plan on making my own, more comprehensive maps that I will stand by in the near future. These will be easily accessible to anyone. I will make sure of that. Next, I will play a few clips from local liars, trying to avoid what is blaringly obvious. The final clip is an amateur video of the engineered tornadoes that hit Illinois recently. All credit for these videos will be linked in the description and belongs with those who hold the copyright there too. If you like or value this information, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. Also, if you want more information of this nature, head on over to Weather War 101.
The drought in Texas is reaching historic proportions. The record drought has cost the state's farmers more than $5 billion in lost crops and livestock.
It's so dry in Texas, cattle and crop losses will start affecting food prices across the country.
With the huge amounts of rain coming down today, flooding was a common sight across the metro area. Exact weather meteorologist Quaylen Murphy takes a look at some of the worst flooding in the area.
Rounds of rainfall continue across the area, resulting in quick accumulating rains. High water signs like these continue to go up, and flood concerns also are still around. It didn't take long for driving conditions to turn ugly today. And for some people, a rainy day brought the pits. Moderate to heavy rain quickly accumulated along portions of Jefferson Highway. Waters masked ditches, making it hard to tell where driveways and streets ended and where the trenches began. Just after noon, a portion of Jefferson Highway near Horde Street was restricted to one lane in both directions. Just as the driver of this tractor trailer was rolling towards his destination, he missed the mark, went out of bounds, and got stuck in a ditch. Not more than 1 mile down the road, the driver and passenger of this pickup ran into the same problem and found themselves stuck outside in the rain while their truck sat defeated.
It seems like nothing's being done about the flooding in New Orleans, in Metairie, in Jefferson Parish. I stay in the French Quarter, and I also come out and help my mother because I'm a caretaker for her. And after 10 minutes of rain, it is flooded. It's a foot of water.
In his eyes, there seems to have been very little improvement since Katrina.
Since Katrina, I mean, I don't know who to ask. What is going on? Is anybody doing anything about this particular problem?
Mother Nature will show her resolve through the remainder of the week, with rain totals of 7+ inches possible.